Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about how to make more money on delivery driving apps. We're going to talk about 5 of the most important tips that I think that you guys should be applying if you guys want to make more money as a delivery driver. Now, let's dive into the 5 tips. But before we get started, please consider smashing the like button for all the tips and tricks that you guys are about to learn, and subscribe to the channel if you guys have not yet. We got more tips and tricks and driver vlogs and all that good stuff coming at you in the future. We do daily videos here, so please consider subscribing. Now, the first tip, of course, if anything, the most important tip, drive at the right times. So now, if you guys are not driving at the right times and you're driving in the middle of the night, let's say maybe you're driving at like 3 p.m. in the afternoon, also probably not a good time, you know? Middle of the night, probably not a good time either. It can be dangerous out there. Not that many people are ordering, and the people that are ordering are probably intoxicated, and they probably aren't going to give you the greatest tips. So now, what we want to do is drive, I personally would suggest anytime between about 10:30 to 2. That is like the lunchtime when everyone is ordering food. Like, everyone is out there ordering. Maybe they're in the office job and they don't want to leave the office. Maybe they're at home chilling. It's time to get lunch, but they don't really want to leave. 11 to 2, I would say, is probably the most prime time, and I never miss it. It's always the greatest time to go out there and make some money, because everyone, you just want to be, or if you're a delivery driver driving people's food, you want to be out there at the time where people want to get food delivered, you know? Makes sense, right? Okay, so also another time that I would suggest, of course, is going to be 5 till 8. That's the dinner time when everyone, of course, is eating dinner. Now, of course, you can make money at other times, but those times that I suggested are the prime times where you're almost always going to make the most amount of money. It is almost guaranteed that you're going to make more money during lunch and dinner than you are at any other time of the day. So think about what times you're going to be doing delivery driving at. Number 2 is you have to get onto multiple apps, especially if you are just doing Postmates. Postmates. I was just talking to someone yesterday at a restaurant, and they were just doing Postmates, and they had no idea that the other apps told them that they were told them the tips up front, and I was like, oh my gosh, you poor soul. Postmates is the worst platform you could be on. So guys, do me a favor and go get onto multiple platforms, because it is so crucial that you're on multiple platforms. The more opportunity, the more revenue sources that you have, the safer you're gonna be, the more money you can possibly make, the more opportunities come to you. I have 6 streams of income. I just did my taxes yesterday. I have 6 different streams of income, and only one of them is delivery driving. I have 5 other businesses and things that I'm working on, so I'm very diversified across the board. I can make money in many different ways, and I would suggest that to everyone. But the least you can do if you're just delivery driver, or maybe you're just getting out of college or high school or something and you're just delivery driving, the least you can do is get onto multiple apps. Now, there's other things like Instacart, there's rideshare apps like Uber and Lyft. There's so many options for you to make extra money as a delivery driver, or just to use these kind of apps as a way to make extra money. So go out there and get onto different apps. Also, I will leave my driver code for DoorDash down below if you guys want to sign up using my code. The third one is going to be setting standards. Guys, there's nothing worse than people out there who are just accepting all of the $3 orders that come in. If you're on Postmates, you're only accepting $3 orders, unfortunately. But the other apps, they're on top of it, and they at least will tell you how much you're gonna make on the tip based on like what the customer gave you up front. So it's good to know those things up front. Now, I personally set a standard of $2 a mile, unless it's totally convenient and I'm like on my way to the gym or something, and then I get an order that's totally on the way, then I will lower my standards a little bit. I personally, anything under $5, I do not touch. It doesn't even matter how convenient it is. Anything under $7, it has to be super convenient, or like $6 for like 1 or 2 miles. That's my standard. So it varies depending on like what kind of car you drive, how busy it is. Maybe if it's like, if you've been sitting around for an hour and you haven't gotten anything, it's probably not the time to just deny an order because it's not $2 a mile. You know, you might want to take that order so you can at least make some money. So what you don't want to do is, I personally think that there's a movement called decline now, where people kind of are very closed-minded and they only accept things that are $2 a mile or nothing less than $7. I think I think it just varies depending on like what time you're driving, where it's going. There's so many options and like reasons why you might take an order or why you might deny it. So you make up your own standards, but you have to have standards. That is very crucial. The fourth one is casual dashing, and that's what I call casual dashing. I do it on a daily basis, and this personally is the only time that I do DoorDash anymore, and it's because, for one, I have an expensive car. I don't want to put on too many miles to the car. For two, my car doesn't get a good gas mileage. For three, I personally find it pretty easy to make an extra $50 a day. That's all I really need to make is $50 a day. Just driving around and doing my errands. So for example, every day I go and I drop off my shoes to the post office. For those of you who are new, I own a footwear company called Off Axis. If you guys haven't yet, go check out offaxisacrobatics.com. And for the next month, we'll be using the discount code Tanner's YouTube, and you will get the shoes for about $40. It's the biggest sale we've ever done. If you guys are watching this past May 2021, then use the discount code OffAxisTanner for 30% off always. But when I'm driving the shoe orders that I get on a daily basis, I try to get an order on the way to the shoe or to the post office. I try to get an order that goes from my house to the post office. If I don't get one, that's fine, because then I'm going to the gym. I try to get an order on the way there, and then I try to get an order from the gym on the way back to my house. At that point, if everything goes well, I've done 1 or 2 orders on the way to each one, and I've already made about $30 to start off the day, and that's just lunchtime. I haven't even done any driving at dinner yet, so it's no problem. If I want to go somewhere for dinner, might as well make an extra 10 to 20 bucks to just pick up an order. All you have to do is log in a little bit earlier than when you're about to leave to go to that location that you're about to go to, and just wait for an order. And you would be surprised how often orders come in that are perfectly on the way. Now, you can lower your standards a little bit, because if you get an order that's perfectly on the way, you were gonna drive those miles anyways. So it does not even matter if it's 5 miles and you were about to drive 5 miles that way anyways, it doesn't even matter. You know, like, you can take an order that pays a little bit less if it's totally on the way. So make your own assumption of those ones though. And the last one is going to the right areas. Now, if you guys aren't in the right area and you're dashing or driving in an area where there's no restaurants, you're not going to get any orders, because you got to be by the restaurants. Now, you will probably notice that when you're far out in the suburban areas and you're not near any restaurants, you're not getting any orders, because frankly, it comes down to whoever is closest to the restaurant is going to get the order. Now, there's some other factors that come into play, but whoever is closest to the restaurant is going to get the order. So personally, what I do is I park at an outlet mall, or my gym has a ton of restaurants around it, so I sit there and wait for orders while I'm at the gym. Or there's other places that I go to, and there's like 10 to 20 restaurants all in one area that do DoorDash, that I sit there and wait for these orders to come in. Now, I have so many options when I'm in this parking lot, so I can be a little bit more picky. When I'm at my house, I live about 5 miles away from anything. I can't be so picky because there's not really any restaurants. So if something comes in while I'm at my house, I'm just normally probably going to be okay with it. But another thing, the final thing, even that I'm going to group this into the last fifth tip, is going to be that you don't want to take orders that go super far away from all of the restaurants. You know, if you see an order and it goes way into the mountains or in the desert or wherever you live, and it's like, let's say it's only 4 miles, you have to drive that 4 miles to come back to get another order though. So you have to take these things into consideration. Those are what I call dead miles. Now, if you're driving far away and you got to drive back, you got to double those miles. You know, it's $4 for 8 miles, but really that's $8 for 8 miles, because you got to drive those miles back. So those are just some tips that I have for you guys. Again, if you guys haven't yet, please consider smashing the like button, because it helps out my channel a lot. Also, we have a driver group called Rich Driver, Poor Driver on Facebook. That's a group that I run. It's a bunch of other productive and just entrepreneurial minded people on Facebook. And also, if you guys, again, one more time, Off Axis Acrobatics, that's my footwear company. Please go check it out and use the discount code Tanner's YouTube for the next month, or Off Axis Tanner for 30% off. So we will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Drive safe. Peace.